Welcome back everyone to the next installment of Corpse Party Blood Drive. We just went through a very depressing extra chapter with Morishige and Kizami. Next logical step. Next chapter. Martuba. This ought to be interesting. I suspect it's a Mizuki chapter. Or a Magari. Same person. It was a few days before Ayumi would be released from the hospital. Ah, okay, back at the very beginning. Well, why not? Morishige was before the events of this game. This is basically the prologue of this game. The setting was a dark, palatial chamber. Or palatial? Truly palatial at that, with various paintings and tapestries lining the walls and ornate, vividly hued candelabras dotting the room, along with a variety of human and animal-shaped objects placed here and there. In short, these were surroundings rife with a sinister and supernatural mystique. Such was the nature of Martuba's tomb, the secret organization of black magic practitioners to which I belonged. And into these solemn yet stern environs echoed a low, deep female voice. It looks like Martuba's founder has Mayu syndrome, where her voice does not sync up with the text. There was a slow, heavy cadence to her voice and a degree of archaism to her speech that perfectly conveyed both authority and experience. This was not someone to be questioned. Surrounding me in the sacred space were numerous shadowy figures, each wearing a black robe. We looked an awful lot like the pop culture perception of devil worshippers. The weight of this news was evident by the sudden emotional reactions of those around me. I, too, was wearing the black robe, though the bits of pale skin peeking through would have made it easy to pick me out of a lineup. There was a palpable sense of excitement throughout the chamber. I stepped forward. Thanks a bunch. Forthwith. I love that word. Huh? Well, last we saw Magari with Azusa, she beat the hell out of her. I don't think there was ever indication that she actually retrieved her. Hi. I had no qualms about talking back to our high and mighty leader, but some fights you just can't win. There was no getting out of this one, so I figured I'd just suck it up.
情報は常に更新され何時に届く。夢しくじるな。誓いをたがえば何時には教祖継承の木は及ばぬものと知れ。
That's pretty intense. I found myself in the local park that night. From atop the jungle gym, I contemplated my situation.
世の中つまんないな。教団の継承権を盾に脅されたら、もう行くしかないじゃん。あーだる。天神症とか。あーだる。しかもアホのあずさの回収とかどんだけよ。
I laid myself back onto the steel bars of the jungle gym and gazed up at the sky. The stars were particularly bright that night. I could almost make out Naho's wry smile in the sky above, as if she'd somehow become a constellation after her passing. I felt alone, unchallenged. And then even the Naho constellation died on me, sliced through by the tail of a shooting star in the dark of night. Unfortunately, I was alone no longer. A voice rang out from below me. It was Misuto. When I turned to look, I saw him standing at the bottom of the jungle gym, waving. Yup. I said nothing in response, instead brandishing my scythe and leaping from my perch in one swift motion, hoping to catch him off guard and lop off his damned head. He was obviously ready for me, however, casually stopping my advance with a 500 yen umbrella, without once displaying the slightest surprise or strain on his face. If I had to give him credit for one thing, it would be keeping cool under pressure. My strength is not insubstantial. He had to have been struggling to hold me back, but it didn't show.
ブックオブシャドウズがいるんだろ。継承権第4位。ほら、手に入れるまでは協力しろよ。
The scythe and the plastic umbrella's frame scraped against one another with an ear-splitting shing. I had every intention of killing him right then and there, and I made no effort to hide it. Misuto, meanwhile, was just smiling back at me, though he had a look in his eyes as well that slightly belied his outwardly nonchalant regard for this battle. His black pupils shone red in the dim light. Finally, we each pushed hard enough that our weapons clashed and deflected one another, putting some slight distance between us. With a flick of the wrist, I shrank my scythe back into portable form and sheathed it. I then crossed my arms and smiled.
Book of Shadows の完全体を取り戻すこと。Book of Shadows の中身である涅槃とそのコアを器であるあの本に戻して初めて Book of Shadows は完全なご神体となる。だな。
Misuto pointed his 500 yen umbrella at me.
その涅槃は過去に吉へ篠崎家の血を媒介に呼び覚まされたもの。その血を引いている篠崎あゆみでなければあの本に封印はできない。
Misuto huffed derivatively.
天神省へあゆみが再度向かうように仕向けるわ。篠崎牧菜の団地に向かわせる。
Oh, is that how that worked? Misuto had his arms crossed as well. This was about as reluctant a truce as they come.
あの女が死んじまうようなことがあれば元も子もないぞ。
分かってるわよ。クソいまいましいけど援護するし。
そうしろ。俺は俺で動く。
協力と言ったって早い者勝ちよ。あの本があんたの手に入ることはないから、チビパー。
It is kind of funny because Misuto does get the book first, and yet he's the one who dies.
こっちのセリフだ、クソビッチ。
He turned to walk away, but not before chucking a knife in my general direction. My general direction. It grazed my cheek before embedding itself in the bark of a tree behind me, though I made absolutely no attempts to dodge it, nor did I allow my expression to change even marginally.
上等。
I smiled widely, drunk on my own insane machinations. The pieces were all falling into place. Much later, lying on my back in the bathing area, I thoroughly sized up the ever-after stones I'd stolen. Oh yeah. All the while, a maid was scrubbing me down to get rid of dead skin cells so I could keep on looking pure and lovely. Sure. The maid just flashed me a smile and continued scrubbing. How long do you think before the maid dies?
ブックオブシャドウズ奪還のついでに、アホちゃんかさやかの死体ぐらいは見つけられるかな。それはそれで面白そう。
The vehement scrubbing was making my body vibrate quite a bit, and between that and my monologuing, I wound up biting my tongue. Ooh, that sucks. Also, she was saying this out loud? Alright. Immediately, I shot to my feet. Damn, this maid's apparently a badass.
ツルツルか、お肌。ツルツルです。触ってみろ。
What?
では、失礼して。
Sure enough, when the maid ran her fingers over my body, the resistance they found created a sound not unlike that of a freshly cleaned plate. A human is literally squeaky clean?
おお、赤すりもなかなかいいものだな。
For a scrub.
うん。許してやる。
Sure.
天神症だる。
God damn, her dress is just eccentric all the time. I fell back onto my king-size canopy bed, sprawling out as much as I possibly could. On the floor nearby was a suitcase my butler, Waldo. Oh, so that's who Waldo was. Hey, if I'd done the X chapter when it came out, I would have known that. Had prepared for me. Waldo was always so courteous, and always kept an even tone of voice when addressing me. I turned my head and looked down at the suitcase. I slowly peeled myself off the bed to begin the arduous task of packing for my trip to Heavenly Host. Open and ready for me, the suitcase contained a number of essentials that Waldo had pre-packed on my behalf. There was a canteen, some store-bought sweet buns, a black robe, some candles, matches, a knife, and a few other assorted survival items. He had 2 large bottles in his hand. I think I like Waldo. That's how it ends. Just fetching about her packing to Heavenly Host. Alright. That was considerably shorter than Morishige's chapter, but rather amusing. New encyclopedia entries? What, for Waldo, I guess? Martuba, Magari... Oh, okay. Well, that was a short one, so I guess we have time for another, don't we? Shit, with this numbering system, it's insane. I have to go, like, find where number 3 is. Alright, here we go. The Unconceding. This could potentially get painful.
Oi.
Welcome back! Okay, so this is obviously before the events of Corpse Party, considering we're outside with Kazami, and Shimada is not dead yet. Hell, Kazami isn't dead yet either. I mean, it's debatable as to whether he died to become the anatomical model, but, you know. Well, remember, they're not in Heavenly Host, so this is going to end with both of them in good condition. Despite the oppressive summer heat, there was just something about a momentary breeze blowing through the hallway that always struck me as kind of lonely. The window was open only about 10 centimeters, but with the weather system rolling in, that was more than enough to cool the place down pretty well. I squinted my eyes as I looked outside, enjoying this moment of rest while I could. I really thought that we were going to be like Kazami. Shimada is just such a weird character to suddenly focus on. I don't know if we ever saw him in the first game, and he was just kind of a dick for like a scene or two in Book of Shadows. Okay, Shimada it is. Naturally. This guy's just like amusingly dickish. Like, that is so delightfully self-centered. I love something about it just cracks me up. Kazami just kind of pisses me off. Really? Suddenly I fell forward as if I'd been shoved from behind. Geez, he just knocked him on his ass by accident? Or on his face? Fucker acknowledged what he did, but just barely. He didn't even slow down. He just kept on walking like he'd bumped a potted plant in passing. Well, remember, Kazami, like, doesn't pick up on social cues at all. It actually did hurt. It hurt a lot. I yelled after him at the top of my lungs. But he either didn't notice or he didn't care. And whichever it was, it pissed me off. That is crazy. You know, I don't remember exactly how he died in Heavenly Host, but I think it was Ghost and not Kazami. So I guess Kazami never really got to resolve that, but we'll see where this goes. I considered my options as I entered the stairwell. Two classmates of mine were there, Ryosuke Katayama and Tomohiro Okawa. They were talking video games, which was nothing new. Oh yeah, these guys.
Tomohiro no Topimonって何属性だったっけ?
Really?
水に弱い火属性。涼介は？
同じく火属性。ああ、土属性のやつどっかにいないかな。
弱い。そうか。
Can you imagine this happening in real life? Oh yeah, I have a Squirtle, not very good against Pikachu. That's it! He just runs away for like a real fight with the person.
あいつの弱点を調べれば。そうか、弱点か。つうか、あいつ何属性だ?
That's actually a good question. I don't know, his sister? His sister really treats him like crap, actually. I thought about it for a moment, but then decided, what the hell did it matter? And I began to laugh like a maniac.
なんだ？
勝てるぞ。今度こそ完勝だ。
Katayama and Okawa looked at me like I was dancing skeleton or something. But what the fuck did I care what they thought of me? I was feeling great.
今の島田だよね。相変わらずよくわからんやつだな。
こうして俺はあの能面野郎の弱点を探すことにした。
This is such a weird chapter. Like, this is a nothing fight that's not gonna get anywhere.
ガイアが俺に囁いた。勝利は俺の手の中にあるぞ。
おい、急げよ。早くしねえと場所なくなるだろ。お前が食うの遅えんだろうが。文句言ってねえで急げよ。うわっ、てえな、もう誰だよ。
He looked like he was going to flip out, but as soon as he saw me, he calmed down real quick. Now he was probably asking himself, why wasn't I watching where I was going? A cold chill ran down his back, and all I had to do was glare at him.
Huh?
He shriveled back. Now keep this in mind. This guy was actively running fast and not looking, trying to get where he was going, smacked into Shimada and fell down, and Shimada just got mad. Kizami walked into him backward and knocked him down so hard it hurt.
だこれ。人にぶつかっておいて謝りもしねえっていい度胸してんな。
I grabbed him by the front of his shirt and tilted my head toward him, staring him down through the corners of my eyes.
いや、ちょっと急いでて。
へえ、急いでたらぶつかっても謝んなくていいのか。いいこと聞いたな、おい。
Oh man.
じゃあ俺も急いでましたってことでお前をぶん殴っても謝んなくてもいいんだよな。
That's amazing.
どいつガキくせったらありゃしねえ。これだから昼に来んの嫌だったんだよ。バカが無駄にはしゃぎやがって。だり。昨日の撮影も結局終電間に合わなかったし、朝寝たところで全然寝た気がしねえんだよな。ああ、マジ眠い。な。
As I lazily stumbled through the hall, I came upon 3 girls who were laughing and talking and just yucking it up and blocking the way. They didn't seem to notice me, though.
島田ってさ、モデルやってるだけあってやっぱかっこいいよね。
あいつ遊びすぎてて逆にキモいじゃん。結構ひどい扱い受けた子もいるって聞いたよ。私は断然刻み派だね。頭いいし背高いし、他の男子に比べて大人って感じでさ。
Oh boy.
わかる。あんま喋んないけどそこがいいっていうか。
私も刻くんと島田どっちがいいって言われたら刻くんかな。
Oh man, really? We're doing this?
何？あんたさっき島田のことかっこいいとか言ってなかった？
やだな、あれは鑑賞用って意味。あんな典型的なナルを本気で付き合いたいわけないじゃん。あいつに本気になっちゃうとかありえないでしょ。
ひど。意外とさ、遊ばれてんのはあいつの方だったりして。
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
うわー、痛すぎ。口開かなければいい男なのにね。鑑賞用は鑑賞用らしく黙ってろっての。
だよね、島田マジうっざ。
おい、聞こえてんぞこら。
It just cuts the music.
んなとこでだべってんじゃねえぞ、そんなどもが。
やだ、怖い。
何よ、そんなんだからみんなに嫌われて。
ああ、 小物がなんかほざいてんな。みんなって誰だよ。ほらてみろよ。
行こう。なんであんなやつが白檀にいんのよ。
The girls took off faster than they'd probably ever run before in their lives. I had kind of forgotten what an openly dickish person Shimada was, even in Book of Shadows. He wasn't being overly antagonistic, but like, just really irritating. Byakudan Senior High School. After the war, in an effort to help push internationalization and economic growth, an educational institution was built here as a sister school to the Valtane Academy in Austria. Initially, it was an all-boys school strictly attended by sons of affluent families, but it's since gone co-ed and relaxed its hoity-toity acceptance requirements. Thanks to its history and enduring reputation, though, it's still largely a den of well-behaved goody two-shoeses, so I'm kind of the odd man out in a way. And that's fine by me.
さてと、それじゃあ早速情報収集といくか。
Whoa, what? I don't know, classroom? I didn't expect this. I'll see if I can go to both. I headed to my classroom on the 3rd floor. There among the other students I came upon 2 acquaintances of mine, Toko Kirasaki and Emi Urabe. They were all laser focused on some junky girls' fashion magazine. I ducked down under the window from the hallway into the classroom and focused on their voices, trying my best to listen to every word they were saying.
この中で一番可愛いのってどれだと思う？そうね。これなんかいいんじゃない？でもさ、これってレースつけすぎっていうか、前はこういうの好きって言ってなかったっけ？言ったけど、やっぱり私には似合わないんじゃないかって思えてきて。そうかな。トウコだったらこういうのもありだと思うけど。やっぱりダメ。一度似合わないって思っちゃうとダメなんだよ、私。
Kirasaki sounded really torn, but then she spotted something that completely took her mind off it. On a nearby desk, someone had apparently left behind a men's fashion magazine.
エミ、あれって男子向けの雑誌だよね。ね、ちょっとだけダメ？やっぱり勝手に見ちゃダメじゃないかな。そうだけど、エミだって男子が読んでる雑誌って気になるでしょ？じゃあ本当にちょっとだけだよ。よし、それじゃあちょっとだけお借りします。へえ、男子ってこんなの読んでるんだ。メンズバックルって本屋さんでもよく見るよね。結構派手な服が多いね。私なんかこういうの好きなやつ知ってるかも。
I heard page after page flip for a while, and then the sound stopped cold, replaced with hushed gasps and moans. They must have seen someone they knew, and something they liked.
これ島田くんだよね。今注目のイケメン読も現役男子高校生の本音とは？
Oh boy.
ってなーに気取ってんだか。変にカッコつけすぎだっての。でもすごいよね。高校生でモデルとかさ。島田くん怖いけど見た目だけはかっこいいもんね。
Well, it's pretty styling.
あいつもさ、いい加減威嚇すんのやめたらいいのに。ゆうやにもすぐ突っかかってくしさ。どんだけ負けず嫌いだっての。もし付き合うならああいうんじゃなくて優しくて誠実な男子がいいよね。
Like Kizami.
例えば
Oh, come on, really?
とか？
Get out of here.
そうさすがエミ分かってる。ゆうやってさ、寡黙だけどさりげない優しさと気遣いができるんだよね。きっとできる男っていうのはゆうやみたいな人のことを言うんだよ。
トウコってキザミくんのことになるとすごいテンション上がるよね。
当然ゆうやこそ私の理想の男子、理想の王子様だもの。
I mean, just so long as we don't get into extreme situations, because he has a weird way of reacting to those.
でもな、
ゆうやって感情とかあまり顔に出さないタイプだから、何考えてるかよくわかんないんだよね。ゆうや、どんな子が好きなのかな。
I'm thinking a little sister type.
さあ、キザミくんが恋の話をしてるとこなんて見たことないし、聞いたこともないしね。
だよね、ミステリアスすぎるんだよ、ゆうやは。まあ、そこがかっこいいんだけど。
They kept chittering away after that, but I was starting to lose interest. There was no dirt here, just a fucking love fest. But then I heard another familiar voice coming farther down the hall. It was growing louder and louder until it was also joined by the sound of footsteps, and those footsteps were just about to turn the corner and see me eavesdropping on the girls. I panicked and hid in the bathroom. Moments later, two figures passed by the door and entered into the classroom with Urabe and Kirasaki.
よー、二人さん。切り先は相変わらず、ゆうやの話で盛り上がってるな。
Perhaps some not Pokemon will cool you off.
なになに、ただいまガールズトーク中ってやつ？
ガールズトーク中ですが何か。
That's pretty funny.
キレのある回答どうもです。
Katayama no Kawa again. As soon as I was certain that I entered the classroom, I went back to my original post and continued listening in.
そういう片山くんたちはボーイズトークでもしてたの？
いやー、俺らの場合、ボーイズトークというか、ゲームトークというか、ギャルゲーにおける女子の落とし方など、日々考察、検証しているわけで。
I don't know. I don't know if that's what I would open with talking to a girl. So what are you into? Dating sims, how to get the girls, like...
最近のギャルゲーは鉄板展開を維持しつつもプレイヤーを飽きさせない意外性も多数組み込まれているからね。
This actually is pretty amusing though, because this was an EX chapter in the original Corpse Party where they got Kizami's friends to start trying one out.
情報交換はまめに行わないと。
情報といえば、最近のゆうやの評判はまさにうなぎ登りらしいぞ。
ゆうやは何でもそつなくこなすからね。あそこまで突き抜けてると男子的にもライバルというより頼もし。
トウコ？それってゆうやのこと好きって子が今よりもっと増えるってことだよね。ただでさえ競争率高いのに男子まで？どうしよう。
桐崎、なんかそれ違う気がするぞ。
困るよ。これ以上ゆうやに近づかないで。
苦労するな、切り先。
Jeez. Straight up.
いや、そんな苦労したくない。
いやいや、涼介も否定しよ。
トウコ、とりあえず落ち着いて。
エミ、
大丈夫。
ふむ、モテる男は大変だな。頼りがいのある器用な男というのもなかなか罪深い。
ゆうやってさ、何でもできちゃうイメージだけど苦手なものとかあるのかな。
そりゃあるだろう。人間誰しも苦手なものくらいあるものさ。
Oh, here we go. Shimano's gonna like this.
そういえばキザミくん、生物の授業でカエルの解剖をやった時、いつも以上に無表情だったよね。
That's pretty creepy.
もしかしてカエルが苦手だったりしたのかな。
わかる。俺も生っぽくてヌルヌルしたやつ嫌いだもん。
いや、この場合カエルじゃなくて解剖が苦手だったのかもしれないぞ。
That's right. He hates it.
思い出しただけでもゾッとするよ。あんなグロい授業好きな人っていんの？
じゃあやっぱりカエルだよ。
Could that be then why Shimada brought a knife into the school in Book of Shadows? He was gonna use that or something?
そうとも限らないんじゃない？キザミくんが他の動物を触ってるのとか見たことないもの。
動物全般がダメということか？
Well, I remember his friend, I believe his name was Kurosaki, he had to stop him from just straight up killing, like, I think, a hamster?
でも私、ゆうやと散歩中の犬がすれ違ったのを見たことあるよ。
じゃあ猫とか？
いけない。確か次の授業移動だったよね。そろそろ行かないと遅れるよ。
もうそんな時間か。時が経つのは早いものだな。